Good morning. Welcome to the Real Prosperity Project. My name is Tanisha Teering, and this is
It's Charlene Reedman, and good morning, good afternoon, or maybe good evening. Just saying.
yeah,
Everybody's
yeah.
always on
Whenever
a
you,
different time zone.
that's awesome. You're right. Everybody could be listening at different times and be on a different time zone. So we are the Real Prosperity Project, and we are here to help foster a mindset of abundance and growth. Okay, because just because something bad happens doesn't mean that there's not some positive things to find in that and to change our mindset from, hey, this is a problem and we can find the solution and find the prosperity in it. So if you think we're winning, we're never losing, right? So that's
Yeah.
what we're here for. And that's what we're here to talk about today, actually, is
Yeah. And
fostering
I
that
just want to
abundance
say, you
mindset.
guys, before we started this podcast, all we could come up with were horrible ideas and negativity. But we took that and we found a solution because I said to Nisha, nope, nope, nope. And I kiboshed all of her ideas. I'm like, absolutely not. We're full of positivity and we're not bringing in any negativity. Just
Yeah.
saying. Because
It is funny. Charlene was like, "Nope, not that. Nope, not that.
nope,
Nope, not that."
nope.
Yes, that. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. It's so funny.
So I'll just start
Yeah.
us off with a little story of overcoming adversity. Okay, this is something that has just come up in my life. I was trying to do a bunch of steps a day to stay active, stay positive, especially in the darkness of winter. Just get out, get fresh air, make
Good
sure that we're
morning.
helping, right?
Good morning.
Helping the mindset. And I was unable to achieve that goal of those steps because my leg is really, really sore and I was coming home and I had like reactivated some plantar fasciitis from my care aid days, concrete floors for 16 hours a day. It really hurts. Um, so instead of focusing on the problem and saying, oh, now I got to put my leg up for 2, 3 weeks and let it rest and I'm not going to get my steps on, I found a solution. So instead of woe is me, I went, hey, you know what? Here's an opportunity for me to do something low impact with less tension and resistance. And I remembered that, hey, you have an exercise bike sitting in your living room. It may be covered in coats, but you can
I
still
was
use
gonna say how many clothes items are on that?
it. So I did a little chat GPTing, and chat GPT told me that approximately 8 kilometers on a stationary bike with low resistance would be equal to approximately 10,000 steps a day. Which I was like, okay, great. So instead of the problem, I focused on the solution and I got on the bike and my bike is actually measured in miles, not kilometers, unfortunately. So I did the math and 5 miles just didn't seem like the right amount. So we're going with 8 miles. And I did it. I did it yesterday. I got it done and my knee didn't hurt. My foot didn't hurt. My back's a little sore today because of the position that you got to be in, but hey, we're winning. I'm not in that much pain. And listen, when you have a loss and you have a loss and you put it together, you get a win.
I didn't even
So,
never knew that because I always do the double. I do it this way, double L.
put two L's together, you get a W. So here we are. We're winning. So that was my thing this morning. I was like, let's talk about fostering abundance even in a moment where you feel a little lost. And I know Charlene probably has some great examples of that too in her life.
Yeah. So the biggest thing, you guys, is sometimes we get so focused on the problem that we can't even look what the root cause is or what a solution might be because, oh, what does Albert Einstein say insanity is? Tanisha, do you know
Mm,
it?
yes, I do. It is the definition of insanity is doing something over and over and over again and expecting a different result.
Exactly. So with what we can do is, so you got this problem and we look at it in 1D like this, right?
Hmm.
1D. So what we got to do is create 3D out of it. So we need write it down on a piece. Here's a solution. Write it on a piece of paper, put it on your table, and then switch your sitting position. Look at it from a different angle. weird or what, but you're looking at it at a different angle.
Hmm.
Okay. So this brings me back to one of my kids was in school and she called me. Okay, it was Kaylee. She called me and she's like, "Oh my God, I gotta get 50% on this test or whatever, right? Or 59 or whatever it was, 60%."
Yeah.
I'm like, so that's all she's focused on. She's not, so when you're going through your test and you can't you can't expand your brain. If you know what I mean, you kind of get stuck in that fear. So I said to her,
Hmm.
okay, so you need 60%. So what I'm going to do and ask permission for from your teacher or whatever who's proctoring your exam is put the 60 on a little piece of paper and put it on your desk. And every time you come across a question, you look at that 60 because it's focusing your brain away from, oh my God, I have no idea what this answer is, to, okay, I need 60%. Let's go back and revisit this question so I can come up with
Right.
a reasonable answer. And I did that with Mike when he was doing the HLLQP. He was stuck on segregated funds. Same thing. He was like, I can't get past those segregated funds. I'm like, well, what do we need to pass? He's like, 60%. I'm like, write the 60% down and focus on the 60 and not on the, oh my God, I can't figure this shit out. Like it's just being able to expand your brain and get out of that 1D focus.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense, I have no idea, but it's really weird how it works.
That does make total sense because what you think about, you bring about, right? So when
Yeah,
you're focused on, oh my God, I've got to do this and I'm so nervous because I can't understand this question, you're stuck in that focus of, I can't do this.
well, you're on the hamster
Whereas
wheel.
that distraction of putting that 60 there, it goes,
Yeah,
oh, right, that's all I got to do. And then it refocuses you so you can actually see the question differently.
yeah. Hey, you should apply that to some of your people you have in the training right now, because if they're
And
struggling,
licensing.
yeah, if they're
Yeah.
struggling, you need to get them to focus on, oh
Focus
my
on
God, it's a
something different.
test. Like, how many
Yeah.
people have like test syndrome problems? It's so
I
dumb,
do.
right?
I do. I start to get butterflies. I start to shake, and I'm like, dude, you
Why?
were just looking at this information. It was totally fine. Just because, and this is the other thing, take the frickin' pressure off because just because you fail doesn't mean you can't retry. And fail
Exactly.
is not to fail. Fail is your first attempt in learning.
Yeah. So all
Okay.
that bullshit they were feeding us way back in the day, you know, that we had to be so perfect. And that's the other thing, perfection. There's no such thing
Mm,
as perfection.
no such thing as perfection.
Now, if you have a holy view and God created us in his mind exactly as you should be, but now it's up to you to build upon that to become the better version of yourself, not a perfect version, but a
No,
better version. It's
no.
totally different because there is no such thing as perfection.
Yeah. No, you're right. And something that I have actually recently started trying to remind myself every time I trade, because I have a problem with going, oh, that just a little bit better would be perfect. It's not perfect. It's striving for excellence.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing. Like, define to me what perfect is, because your version of perfection is going to be different than what I conceive as perfection. So now we go into, I'm a people pleaser because Tanisha's standard of perfection of me isn't what I know.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, I can never get it right because Tanisha says it's not perfect. But what is perfect, Tanisha?
There
What
is no
is,
such thing as perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. You said it. It is striving for the best that you can do and the best that you can be.
yeah,
That is a version of excellence, and that's all that there needs to be.
excellent. Now that's a whole other story. So, striving to be excellent is so much better than striving to be perfect because you know what
Right?
perfection does? It holds people back.
It does.
Well, I can't make that phone call yet because I don't know the script perfect enough.
right?
Oh, I can't go out and earn more money because I don't know the products perfect enough.
Mm-hmm.
So you can
Yeah.
see where I'm going with that.
Yep. And actually, I love that you said that. I have some notes for my convention, and I just I highlighted something that I need to share with our listeners. So we had a couple great speakers, and I personally believe that we look at our conventions as more personal development than we do like a convention to talk about business, because we really don't talk about business. We talk about how to strive to get into our best version, how to win, how to, right? So Rich Thawley said that him and his wife every single morning tell each other to leave room for a miracle today.
Oh, that's cool.
So leave room for a miracle today, which is your excellence, right? And for those of you that do have faith, um, and it really doesn't matter what you believe in, whether you believe in universe, whether you believe in God, whether you believe in, it doesn't matter. I just use the term God, so you can take this in your own interpretation, but God is getting you ready for what he already has ready for you. So to me, that is impact is measured in lives touched. Okay. How can we serve others? How can we be ready for that miracle today?
Yeah.
Because there's
And
always going to be something coming.
hey, have anybody out there watched Ted Lasso? It's a Oh my God. So it's on Apple. It's a series,
Okay.
and there are so many learning moments in that show, that
Mm-hmm.
series, believe it or not. Like, I've watched it before and we just rewatched it, and I'm like, oh my God, I want to be like Ted Lasso. Like, I mean, he has some issues in his own personal life, but he is so positive and
Right?
kind. And what really captures me is something was done to him and he wouldn't go out and do, that retribution or that I'm going to get you back. Everybody around him wanted him to do the get you back thing. And he's like, nope, won't do it. Mm-mm, no way, girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, that is so good. Because you know how hard it is for so many of us to not hold that anger, hatred, the I'm going to get you back. We all hold that.
That is the R's that resistance, revenge, and resistance, resentment, and revenge.
Yeah.
And you need to never, you every time you start to get into one of the three R's, you need to recognize it and back up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because when you're in those three R's, when you're resistant to something, you're fighting against a brick wall. You're
Oh,
never ever going to
and
push through
just
it.
I'll speak from experience because I've been in that for a few years and couldn't get anything done.
Nope, you can't.
Nothing. I can't phone
It's like
anybody.
smacking your
I
head
can't
into a wall.
I can't create an income for myself because I was so resistant to everything. Just so you
Yeah.
know. And I've let that
Yeah.
go. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, oh my God. And I've had more business in 2 months than I had a whole year ago. Two
Mm-hmm.
months. I've
Yeah.
created more income in 2 months than I have all year last year.
Because it's just flowing. It
Yep.
flows to you because you've removed the
I
resistance,
totally moved it.
right? So that's I don't know how to tell anyone to remove the resistance. All I
I
can
don't,
say
it,
is just
I think you have to figure that one out. You have
you
to
do.
identify it.
Mm-hmm.
What's making you angry and bitter? That to me was my emotions, angry and bitter, and then resentful.
Mm-hmm.
Well, your resentment is your resistance.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to find what that is, take a step back, Doesn't mean you can't go back to what you were doing, like with whatever it is, but maybe sometimes you have to like tell everybody to fuck off.
Exactly. Exactly. I love it.
Let me just
Yes.
be me. And I think that was the biggest thing too, because we get all this stuff put on us and told that we need to be like this and we need to be like that. But what about me? Like, what was wrong with me being who I was before you're told that, oh, you're not perfect enough? Ah.
Mhm.
Mm.
See, authenticity is the highest form of frequency.
Yeah.
And I will say this about us here on the Real Prosperity Project. Okay, when we started in this podcast, Charlene and I were so worried about perfection. Our
Mhm.
background, how our makeup was done, how our mic sounded, how the lighting was, which angle the camera was at. And we struggled, the two of us, to film our first episode. And it took us, what, like a month to get
Oh
brave
my God,
enough
we
to
couldn't even
just
come up with a
say,
name.
yeah, we couldn't even come up with a name. And it was that resistance. It was that,
Mhm.
oh my God, we're not perfect.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck about perfection?
Yeah.
We are real humans. We are raw humans and we are authentic to who we are. And as
Mhm.
soon as, and I'll tell you this, for the first year of our podcast, we had what, one, two, maybe three followers and plays of our podcast. And recently, as Charlene has stated, we just decided, fuck it all. We're just going to be raw. It's real. Who cares what our background looks like? Who cares if this is our life. This is our offices. This is where we exist. This is where we come up with the greatest inspirations and our thoughts. And who cares what words are coming out? And if we stumble and say, who gives a crap? We're not editing. We're not doing that. This is us. And
Well,
all of a
that's
sudden now we have 17 plays. We have 4 downloads. We have more subscribers. I heard someone walked up to me in Calgary and said, "Hey, I just seen that you have a podcast. It's incredible. I didn't even know." Because guess what? Now the resistance is gone,
yeah.
and now we can really relate to people, and people are actually finding value in what we have to say.
And that makes me think of you, Tanisha. Um, Tanisha and I worked together for, is it 4 years now?
4.5.
Yeah, like God. Anywho, and Tanisha's now I want to take this. I don't you take the right way, wrong way, I don't care. But you've always put in 120%,
Mhm.
right? You're always like you always did what you were told to do. Told to do. But no one ever let you just go do what you need to do. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Now you know what to do. Remember we talked about last week. You have the knowing doing gap. We know what to do, but we don't do what we're supposed to do, so we have this gap. And your gap
Mhm.
is closing like tremendously. Like you're probably like here. Cuz
Yeah.
like you've just been attracting in so many great people into your business and into your life as well. That didn't happen last year. Didn't happen the year
Nope.
before.
Nope.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, and you're, and that's the thing because sometimes we get so caught up in our struggle of achievement. I got to do this and I have to do this and I have to do that. And it's just kind of like, oh, I don't know what the heck you did to drop your resistance. Because your resistance dropping is different than what my resistant dropping is. And we're all different. We have to be individuals,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I don't know what the heck it was that you've done, but all of a sudden you're just like, you know what I mean?
I feel like it's kind of the same thing as what we've done on the podcast here. I've stopped caring what people think,
Yeah, stop being a people pleaser.
and I have started just doing what works for me.
Yeah. And you know what? And that's all we can do. We can't control the outside. We can only control ourselves, our own activity, and our own attitude. That's what it comes down to. And my good friend Justin has been hammering that into my head for the last couple of years. He's like, Shar, All you can do is control you,
You. Mm-hmm.
your attitude,
Your
and your
attitude and
activity,
your activity. Yeah.
and whatever that might be. Well,
Exactly. And that's just that in itself right there, Shar. And the reason I truly believe that your income is flowing and my ability to lead and have a team and grow and train and develop, the reason that it's flowing is because we have strived for excellence in our own lives, in our own ways, and we
yep,
have dropped perfection.
yep,
And we
yeah.
are solution based thinkers. We're not focusing on the problem, we're thinking about the solution.
And the other thing too, I'm just going to drop this is having other people put what they think, like, not that they shouldn't encourage you to strive higher, but sometimes the way they go about it, it's like, I don't know the right words without sounding like a biatch, but um,
Loose, Char.
I
Let
know
loose.
it's like it's like you're doing something because you're told that's the way you need to do it, and you're doing it because that's expected of you, and you don't want to disappoint them, which is nothing wrong
Which
with
is nothing
not
wrong
disappointing other people, but at the end of the day,
with the day.
you in your
You
heart
and your
have to feel the pull to do it, and you should be doing it for you, and that's not selfish. And that goes back to my many years ago when I came across Bob Proctor and I started being selfish for me, and I
and
grew
I grew
exponentially.
exponentially.
And then I
And
stopped because I was trying to please everybody else and doing what they expected of me. And then it got too much.
mm-hmm.
Like I was just like, I was not doing the
Yeah.
activity and I was not having a good attitude. My attitude sucked
Yeah.
ass, by the way.
Yeah.
And
It happens.
yeah,
It happens. And you know what? Our senior partner said this actually. Like we were at a dinner party at his house, the whole team. It was great. Um, he apologized for trying to lead over the last year from what other people were telling him the way that he needed to.
yeah,
Because he
see?
said that he said straight up, I was rubbing people the wrong way. And I feel like there was a huge disconnect in our team, which is our family. Like it really is, because he was trying to do what he was told to do rather than trying to just be himself and continue to lead from that place of being. And he took 100% personal responsibility for that, which I think is something that we all need to do is we need to take personal responsibility when we are taking actions from a different like a different place. And that resonated with me so much, and I loved that and appreciated that so much because it was like watching him take a step in a completely right direction and be authentic to himself. And that was his moment, right? And just like Charlene has said, she has taken a step back from her resistance and now everything's flowing for her. That's her moment. And she mentioned my moment. Well, that moment for every single one of us was completely different. And I think
Yep.
that's what I really want to drive home, and what Charlene's trying to drive home in this is we all have a different place of resistance, and it's all going to look different. So we can't tell you how to do it, how to step out of that, but we can tell you what to look for. And if it feels like your head is hitting a wall and you're trying to push through something, that is resistance. And you need to take a step back and look at a solution to try to thrive through that from authenticity.
Yeah, and I think some things to look for, whether it's maybe with your family, yourself, your work, your job, whatever it might be, let's go back to family. If you're walking away from whatever and you feel angry, there's resistance.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel like a heavy heart and pissy, there's a resistance in that situation and you need to take a time out. take a time out and figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just my feelings because I had a lot of that.
Yeah, those are great things to watch for and look for is that feeling of anger. Another feeling can be overwhelm,
Yeah, overwhelmed. Even though
you
maybe,
know?
and then you're like looking around going, well, I don't know why I'm overwhelmed because I've done fuck all. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But it is an overwhelming
exactly.
feeling. It even comes
Yeah.
down to like, I need to clean my house and I feel overwhelmed, so I'm going to go do something else. Oh, I need to do
How
paperwork, so
much
I'm going to go clean my
resistance is
house.
right there
Yeah.
when all it would have taken was a few minutes.
Yeah.
You know how much resistance I have for my freaking pile of laundry? I totally feel that one because
Yeah.
I feel overwhelmed by the size of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
And you know,
that's a great example.
this probably stems into an anxiety. And when you go back to Ted Lasso and you're just loving him because he's just like, he's a, just this beacon of freaking awesomeness. And yet he gets panic attacks. And you're like, how can this guy who's so abundant of love have a panic
Mhm.
attack? And it's just, it can blow your mind because there's something in his life that he has not dealt with.
Yep.
But please watch it. Tanisha, I encourage you, you have my permission to watch TV because it is so good. There's so many great lessons in there. You're going to be blown away. Yeah, everybody.
I don't know if all of you just caught that, by the way, but Charlene and I have been best friends now for 4 years, okay? And she just said, I give you permission to watch TV because in the background, outside of the Real Prosperity Project, she'll call me, have you watched this? And I'm like, I don't have time for TV. I don't sit down and watch TV. And once in a while, I will sit down and watch 2 or 3 episodes of something. And she'll be like, oh, what did you do last night? I'm like, oh, well, instead of doing this, this, and this, and this, I finally just broke down and watched some TV. She's like, you can do that, right?
Yeah. But the funny thing is, like, I was Tanisha years ago when my kids were little. Like,
Yeah.
we actually I didn't have a TV in our living room anymore because I never got to watch it. I didn't do the cable and all that anymore because I never got to watch it. I'm like, I'm so
Yeah.
done paying for this shit that I don't get to enjoy. So now my life is different. And this is something Mike and I do at night together. We pick a series that we only watch together. And it just
Yeah.
happened to be this Ted Lasso. And I actually really, really was sad that it ended. I had tears and there
I'm gonna
is
put it on. I am.
so,
I think it'll be
but what I
good.
do is I'll even put on my phone, like at my computer, and I'll watch something, but while I'm doing work. Like I
Mm.
can figure out how to watch documentaries and TV and everything while I'm still actively working.
I don't think I have the brain capacity for that. I barely can listen to music while I'm doing my
Yeah,
work.
yeah. But you know, when your youngest is gone, you'll have that much more time to do all that. But in the meantime, you have to watch Ted Lasso.
Okay, I will watch Ted Lasso. So
Yeah,
that's a huge shout out to that show, just so you know. I'm gonna go
yeah,
watch it. But here we are. We're ending the episode at our usual half an hour. I don't want to make it so that people can't enjoy and find value. Dragging things out, I find people just don't have the attention spans that they used to.
no, I know I don't.
I don't. I definitely don't. So I just want to again thank all of our listeners and our viewers and our subscribers because you bring us value because we find a lot of value and abundance in sitting here and talking to all of you. So thank you. And as always, subscribe and follow because it supports us and we want to support you in fostering that mindset of abundance. So thank you so much. And I hope that you all have a blessed day.
Yeah. See you guys later. Have a great day. And yeah, figure shit out.
Bye.
Bye.